Peter Jackson, famed Lord of the Rings director.
When you hear the name Peter Jackson, most people will instantly think of the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
It belongs to me and I get excited. I say, oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, wow.
While billionaires buy islands and superyachts, Peter Jackson bought World War I fighter planes and locked himself in a New Zealand fortress. What is he hiding in there? Peter Jackson isn't just a director, he's a billionaire visionary who transformed imagination into fortune. Let's uncover the empire he built in silence, the early years. There is little doubt that Peter Jackson did not receive a pristine upbringing. He didn't have a wealthy uncle in Hollywood or a nice film school diploma on his wall. Just a passionate youngster with a vivid imagination and a Super 8 camera. In his early years, he was producing bloody, hilarious, and completely insane horror comedies like Braindead and Bad Taste. Although people adored those films, studio executives weren't lined up to give him money for them. What really made Jackson stand out? He just wouldn't settle. He was a one-man circus, teaching himself how to edit, shoot, build monsters out of latex in his garage, messing around with stop motion like he was Ray Harryhausen's long-lost nephew. By the time Lord of the Rings landed in his lap, he wasn't just the director, he was practically running the whole show behind the scenes. That whole DIY mad scientist vibe, it paid off big. When New Line Cinema came knocking, he didn't just direct, he called the shots. Shot the whole trilogy in one go, right there in New Zealand, hired loads of locals, and basically dropped a film industry right onto the country's doorstep. Jackson didn't just make an epic movie, he put New Zealand on the map, no joke. The trilogy that changed everything. Before the billion-dollar tech sale, there was a ring. Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy didn't just collect 17 Oscars. It pulled in nearly $3 billion worldwide. But what most people overlook is that Jackson wasn't only making movies, he was building an empire. While other directors rented their gear and outsourced visual effects, Jackson was constructing his own creative powerhouse. In Wellington, New Zealand, he co-founded Weta Digital and Weta Workshop, studios that became the hidden engine behind Hollywood's biggest visual spectacles. From Avatar to Planet of the Apes to the Avengers, chances are if you've been amazed by movie effects in the past 20 years, Weta was behind the magic. Jackson understood something most artists don't: own the tools, own the industry, and that philosophy eventually made him one of the wealthiest filmmakers alive. The secretive New Zealand compound. While most billionaires show off with mega yachts and Manhattan penthouses, Peter Jackson has been quietly building a real estate portfolio that would leave even seasoned property moguls green with envy. His holdings? Over $350 million worth of properties throughout New Zealand. The crown jewel sits in Matahiwi, in the Wairarapa region, a sprawling estate that defies conventional luxury. This isn't your typical billionaire mansion. Picture this, a 1930s-era mansion extensively renovated, featuring 1,639 square meters of floor space. But that's where normal ends. Hidden behind a secret bookcase, yes, a real one that swings open when the right book is pulled, is a full-scale reconstruction of Bag End, the cozy hobbit home from Middle-earth. Step inside, and you're greeted with Bilbo Baggins' signature round doors and rustic charm. Jackson's estate doesn't stop there. It features a private lake, a personal railway line, a golf course, scattered castle ruins, underground tunnels linking various buildings, and a 100-seat private cinema. But Jackson's property ambitions extend far beyond this single estate. In Wellington's Karaka Bay neighborhood, he's been systematically buying up an entire street. In 2000, when Lord of the Rings was being filmed, Jackson began acquiring properties overlooking and neighboring his primary residence. Today, he owns 13 adjacent properties on a single street, over 3,200 square meters of housing worth nearly $22 million. What's he doing with all these houses? Some have been demolished entirely, transformed into landscaped gardens and outdoor entertaining spaces. Others serve unknown purposes, hidden behind high walls and dense vegetation. Neighbors rarely see activity, but security is ever present. Do you think that's paranoid or smart? When you're worth over $1 billion, privacy becomes priceless. In 2023, Jackson and Walsh made headlines by purchasing Shelley Bay, a controversial stretch of Wellington waterfront originally slated for a 150 apartment development. The price tag? $105 million. Rather than develop it, they announced plans to restore the land to nature, preserving it from commercial development. Whether this is environmental altruism or strategic land banking remains unclear. His commercial property holdings are equally impressive. $77 million in Miramar property tied to his Weta group of companies. Heritage-protected Wellington landmarks including the former Vatican Embassy and multiple converted churches. An entire industrial block in Rongotai, quietly acquired building by building over several years. The $1.6 billion handshake. In November 2021, Unity Software, the powerhouse behind some of the world's leading game engines, revealed its $1.6 billion acquisition of Weta Digital's technology division. Not the entire company, just the tools. Let that sink in. Jackson sold the software and tech that powered his visual effects empire while keeping Weta Workshop, the physical production side, completely intact. It was a brilliant move in strategic wealth building. Jackson sold at the perfect moment, kept full creative control, and walked away with a fortune that put him on par with Hollywood's elite. Do you think you'd sell the golden goose or just its eggs? Because Jackson found a way to do both and still keep the farm. The deal included over 275 engineers and cutting-edge facial animation technology that's now being used in real-time game development and virtual production. Unity didn't just buy software, they bought the future of digital filmmaking. The flying obsession. When it comes to aircraft, Jackson's fascination goes far beyond a casual interest. It's a full-blown obsession. He owns a fleet of rare World War I planes, including a Sopwith Camel and several used in his documentary-style film They Shall Not Grow Old. But for Jackson, it's never been about flaunting wealth. Jackson uses these planes for historical preservation and education. He's poured millions into restoring aircraft that would have otherwise been lost to time. Some are kept in climate-controlled hangars on his property, while others are displayed in aviation museums. He's not the type to jet off to Cairns or Aspen in a private plane. Instead, he soars over New Zealand's South Island in century-old biplanes. For Jackson, luxury isn't defined by extravagance, it's defined by devotion to what he loves. The awards, the legacy, the silence, 3 Oscars, a knighthood from Queen Elizabeth, a fortune north of $1.5 billion. And yet, Peter Jackson remains almost invisible. No social media, no red carpets, no Hollywood parties. So what drives a man with that much power and success? For Jackson, it's simple: creative freedom. Since selling Weta, he's poured his time into passion projects, documentaries, film restorations, and smaller stories that speak to him personally. He's not chasing franchises or billion-dollar box office numbers anymore. He's creating purely for the love of it, on his own terms, in his own quiet corner of the world. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Peter Jackson's incredible untold story, smash that like button and let us know in the comments what surprised you most. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.